is once the girl rejects you, you move the fuck on. And when I mean move on, I don't mean think about her while you do shit like, well, I'm gonna show her that she made a mistake. I'm gonna show her that I'm gonna be the biggest, strongest man and she's gonna regret rejecting me. And now that a woman was placed in the friend zone, now it's a place that one, all of a sudden does exist. All of a sudden. Two, they wouldn't have been able to do it emotionally. They couldn't handle that emotionally. But you're telling men to just get over it, which I agree with. For the record, I agree. Guys should just get over it and move the fuck on. Yo, what's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Bolo, and I'm coming to you with another video for educational purposes only. And yeah, this Madame Noir channel, I kind of was going through it after I seen that one video. Man, they've got a lot of bullshit on this channel, man. So I seen probably half of this video. Do women put the wrong guys in the friend zone? I would say no, they don't put the wrong guys in the friend zone. I just think you deserve whatever you get coming, really, honestly. Like, everyone, you know, you make decisions and there are consequences for those decisions. Now, depending on what decision you made, it's either a good consequence or a bad one. But you created that opportunity or scenario. So I'm not gonna ever say you put the wrong guy. I've been put in the friend zone and my dumb ass decided to stick around for a little bit. That was my fault, you know, but was she wrong for doing that? No, that's what she wanted. That's what she felt. She felt like, yo, this is not what I want. No problem. And that's the problem. Guys don't have that mentality. I don't know if it's the media, I don't know if what it is, upbringing, but a lot of us have this trying to change them to make them like us, and you start doing all kinds of goofy shit that you would never do in a relationship to try and impress her. And it's just toxic, destructive. It's just not good for your self-respect or confidence. But yeah, let's just watch this video. Hear these broads talk a bunch of bullshit.
Today we're talking about a place known as No Man's Land, aka the Friend Zone. I'm Shamika Sanders, and here to help me navigate those murky waters are Kiara Kelly and Africa Miranda.
She's pretty though, Africa Miranda. She reminds me of that bitch with the big eyes that was on sitcom, but like without the big eyes, like without the bug eyes. I can't remember her name though.
Listen up, listen to Black Woman is starting now. Perfect.
Okay.
But is Mr. Right in front of their eyes? Sexual attraction in the initial stages is important, but can it grow? All of this leads us to our question of the week. Do women put the wrong guy in the friend zone? Ooh, let's talk about this.
Okay, so I don't think the friend zone actually exists.
Okay, so this is why I had to make this video, because she says she doesn't think the friend zone exists, but will later on admit that she was put in the friend zone also, right? So I don't know how the hell both of those things could be true. And then the one to the left that said you should be happy with the place that you're in talks about how the girl that was in the friend zone waiting was a lot stronger than her because she wouldn't have been able to do it. So this is why I say you should not be listening to these motherfuckers.
Okay, I think.
But let's go back.
Friend zone is a term.
Is important, but can it grow? All of this leads us to our question of the week. Do women put the wrong guy in the friend zone? Ooh, let's talk about this.
Okay, so I don't think the friend zone actually exists. Okay, I think the friend zone is a term that men use to define themselves as like a group of men and all the suitors who got sidelined for some asshole. And it's like, no, you just weren't the choice.
Yeah, you just weren't the choice. It's not always an asshole that they take you for or take over you or none of that shit, dudes. Fellas, whatever it is about you, it could be you're not exciting enough, it could be physical attraction, it could be money, whatever it is, and you shouldn't feel bitter about it, you shouldn't feel bad about it, because there's girls that you wouldn't date, okay? So don't feel bad, don't feel, you know, dejected, don't feel down about it, just accept it and move on, and most importantly, move the fuck on. Stop sitting there hoping that one day she'll see how great of a guy I am. Okay?
I don't have men in my friend zone. I you're either my friend or you're my guy.
Pop culture perpetuates this narrative of the friend zone guy because in
I would
movies
agree.
and
That's a pretty. I think that's. But for some reason, that's. They lie to the guys and tell them if you try hard enough, you'll get the girl.
on TV, he's the nice guy. He's a little nerdy, maybe. He's Steve Urkel, and until he turns into Stefan, I don't really want anything to do with him. I think about Drake and Nicki Minaj and Rihanna. Now, Drake is someone who is rich and has all of his future going for him, and he is pretty handsome and kind of swaggy and sexy. But still, if he cannot get clothing, you can't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, whatever it was, even though Drake has the factors, whatever it was, just wasn't what Nicki was looking for. And, outside of celebrity.
And that works out for him because she's a piece of shit. Look who the guy that she's with. Wasn't he like convicted of like touching like little girls or something? So, I mean.
Thing, like, and that's okay if your brand of you doesn't fit her.
The thing about it is, like, just because you like me does not mean that I have to like you back. When you're looking at what makes a good relationship, you've got to really see what that means to you. It's like, yes, you need somebody that's supportive and kind, but there's sometimes that intangible that you can't really put your finger on, but you need to feel that, and that's what takes people from being friends to lovers in a full-fledged relationship.
100% agree. They don't owe you attraction just because that you're attracted to her. That's very I couldn't have said it any better myself. Now the second part where she was talking about intangibles and all that shit, that's just what they would call the vibe. That's just their emotional attachment to you, whatever it is, that one thing that might stick out, which a lot of times that's what gets them in trouble, honestly. If we're gonna be honest, it's the wrong things. Like instead of looking at tangible things that can provide a more fruitful life and have a family and things like that, they look for all these things that really don't mean shit and put that over all the other important things in life. But I mean, that's what they want to do.
And I think people can get so caught up on what they see that you have to see it too, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's like I really wanted you.
Yes, but to also flip it, we have to be careful about putting people in buckets. Like, I'm guilty sometimes of meeting people and just seeing them one way, and the danger of compartmentalizing people is that you can't possibly put someone in the friend zone too early and maybe miss out on that right partner that you are looking for.
Now I'm interested to see what
I mean,
the
that was
social
fair.
media
That's a fair statement.
streets had to say about this very topic. Oh, this is gonna be some good stuff. R.I.P. to all the girls that left a good guy in the friend zone.
This is one of them bitter ass niggas right here. These are one of the dudes that obsess over this kind of shit. Okay, and it's not healthy. Who cares if they picked the wrong guy and put the wrong guy in the friend zone? Who cares? Let them live the life that they're supposed to live. Whatever happens to them, happens to them. Okay? If a girl decides I'm not the guy for her, I really have no kind of ill feelings towards her at all. Like, hey, it's okay, no problem. And too many guys, their pride gets hurt.
And weren't smart enough to give him a chance. We just didn't like you.
See, you sound like a sucker, man. Don't do it. You sound like an emotional woman talking like that.
It's okay. But how do you know what's good for her? You just made a decision that yourself is the best.
Yeah.
Based on
I like you, so you have to like me back, and we're going to be together. That sounds a little
all
crazy.
these great traits, and you don't even know about it. I mean, neither does Michael B. Jordan. Okay? Another person wrote on Facebook, it's always the ugly ones worried about who black women should date. From Trick Daddy to your local good guy who is always in a friend zone, a woman of quality ain't checking for you because of you.
Oh, just a lot of guys that have been hurt. They feel like they're a good choice and they were picked over, and they feel resentment and bitterness, and they haven't been taught on reality and what to expect on how to handle that reality. They get into these computer groups, on Reddit and whatever, in YouTube, where they all just tell each other just destructive things about how women suck and all this other shit. It's like, yo, they don't suck. Sometimes they make, they making decisions that they see is best for them. And if it's not, oh well, it's none of your business. Once the girl rejects you, you move the fuck on. And when I mean move on, I don't mean think about her while you do shit like, well, I'm gonna show her that she made a mistake. I'm gonna show her that I'm gonna be the biggest, strongest man and she's gonna regret rejecting me. Not that kind of move on. I mean the, okay, no problem. And you go about your life never thinking about her again. That's the kind of moving on you need to do. Okay, too many guys is like, well, I'm gonna get big and strong and I'm gonna make a lot of money just to show her that she's wrong. It's like, dude, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself and your future kids, okay? Not some bro that rejected you.
Harsh, but
Parts of that I will ride, but I'm not calling nobody ugly. Like, but you like who you like, good or bad. You know, you like who you like, and we all should be free to like who we like and choose.
Agreed.
yeah, because ugly you could be swexy, swaggy, and sexy. Okay? There are some women out there who admit to friend zoning the wrong guy. Melanin Queen wrote, I think all these good for nothing men when all along my Prince Charming has been chilling in the friend zone for how many years? I'd actually like to do a follow-up study with her to see how long that relationship.
All right, so if that guy was in her friend zone for years, what I would guess is that her looks are starting to decline. The options aren't there like they used to be, and he's always been there, and she's starting to just say, you know what? I think I'll have a long relationship with him. I don't think he's going anywhere, and just settle down with him. I think if you turn back the clock before and she was still getting the attention from all those other good for nothing men, she would continue to pick those good for nothing men because it was endless. It was just an abundance of whatever she wanted. So I'm guessing her options started running out, or she's seeing the options running out and decided to make a proactive move and say, hey, you're going to be the one. And obviously she knew he was going to say yes.
Curious, but there are some women out there who say they choose the wrong guys.
It happens. I actually read a flip side story. It was a woman on Twitter shared that she had been friend zoned by a man twice, and now they are married and have children, and she was just like, she waited. And I was like, power to you, sis, but...
See, now, according to them at the beginning of this video, the friend zone didn't exist. And not only that, you were a friend and you should be there. That was the place you belonged and you should have been happy. And now that a woman was placed in the friend zone, now it's a place that, one, all of a sudden does exist. All of a sudden. Two, they wouldn't have been able to do it emotionally. They couldn't handle that emotionally. But you're telling men to just get over it. Which I agree with. For the record, I agree. Guys should just get over it and move the fuck on. But I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy here.
I guess I don't think about like, oh, you know, we can get friend zone too.
Oh yeah, you were just talking about how the friend zone doesn't exist. Now you're sitting there, oh yeah, go sis. Black woman, black magic.
Happens on both sides.
I've definitely been friend zoned.
Okay, now, not only does it, now, so it went from non-existing to existing to you yourself was in there.
How did you feel about it?
I mean, it makes you sad, but I also am open and I want to be in love. So if a guy doesn't like me, it's like, yeah, shot to the heart, but hey, someone else likes me.
And that's the point. I feel like that's what people are missing. And I think a lot of men don't have that same attitude. It's just they are scarred for
Okay,
life.
one, I agree. A lot of men don't have that mentality. Two, they should have that mentality. But three, I will give you a reason. Not an excuse. A reason why she has that mentality is because she has way more options. Okay? Most guys, and I literally mean most guys, ain't getting play, ain't getting pussy, ain't even getting looked at in that way. So they get fixated on one girl, they feel like there's some kind of chemistry and they want to make it happen with that girl. But her, she's bombarded with more men than she can handle. So yeah, the one guy that she's really into happened to not like her back. How hard do you think it is for her to move the fuck on when there's a constant barrage of men offering themselves to you? I mean, just mathematically speaking, of course it's easier.
By this one woman who opted not to choose them back.
Yeah, and men take rejection so bad. It's like,
So do women. So do women. Any guy that watches this video and you've actually had the balls to actually reject a woman, How many of them have handled it well and just said, okay, no problem, and then that's it? I have yet to meet one where I rejected and was just like, no, or not interested, and they just took it like that. Not one. And I've rejected more than a handful. Okay, I've done it more than a handful, and and it ranges. I'm not gonna sit here and act like complete bitches, but they go from complete bitch to how, you know, guys do it, where they're just like trying to impress the girl and just do some over the top shit that makes you just turned off more. That's what some of these girls have done. I mean, there was this white girl she was nice, but she talked like Clueless. She's like, oh my god, seriously? And I just couldn't get over it. I was like, you know what? This is just really fucking annoying. I don't want to do this. And she could not handle it. And she would literally just just talk about all the things that she wanted to do to me to like try and turn me on. And I was getting turned off, to be honest. I was like, look, you're really starting to annoy me now. Like, I really don't want anything to do with you. She was okay looking. She wasn't ugly, but I was just turned off to that point, you know? And then I've had, you know, the opposite, where they've gotten mad and they start calling you ugly and gay and all this other shit because you don't want them. So this whole thing about only men not knowing how to deal with rejection is complete bullshit. Women are terrible with rejection. The issue is that they're not rejected enough to get, you know, enough of a sample size or for people to really know how they act, because they're very rarely rejected.
It'll be okay, trust me, because she peaked in high school. Next. So let's take it to the polls, because I am dying to hear what our audience has to say about that.
As always, we go to our MadameNoir.com audience and we ask, do you have a friend that everybody thinks you should date?
Whack question. Where's the next one?
21%.
And that I've been friends with for like maybe 16 years, and we're great friends. And everybody's like, you guys
Where's the
are
next
great.
question?
And what I love to say, and to be very honest.
Oh, right here.
When I look at him, I love to have a friend, and I say,
We asked, I put guys in the friend zone when 49% they're not physically my type, 32% said when they don't express interest early on, and 19% when they're too nice. Or
Okay, those are all very valid reasons. I mean, you could probably, yeah, I guess that would be like an accurate percentage. But yeah, physically not my type, obviously, that's a big one. Physical attraction is needed. It is necessary. People want to talk about personality. Looks is very important. Didn't express interest earlier. Guys, that's on you. A lot of times you play it too passive. You don't have to be explicit on some like, I like you very much and I would like to, you know. But there's ways of making it known without being too overt. You know, you can let them know. And then you can see how they reciprocate. And then being too nice or needy. Of course. Guys, stop being little bitches, man. Like being too nice and needy. And that's what nice guys do. They sit there and they're just yes men and they act like pushovers and I'll do whatever you want and oh my god, I'll worship the floor that you walk on and all this other bullshit. You think that's gonna get you some ass, and it doesn't. It turns them off. It makes them actually physically sick when they see guys do that. They would never, ever, 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 ever take a guy like that seriously.
when they're too nice or too needy. Is that too nice? I don't believe in too nice.
yeah, I don't believe in too nice.
I really
Yeah, damn lie.
I do equate certain qualities with certain like attributes. So I'm like, if you're too nice to me, I'm like, oh, you're a sap, and you're this and that. Growing up though,
She's right, and she's telling the truth. Those other two are right there. I don't believe them for a second.
I would definitely friend zone you if I felt like you just didn't meet my like sexual ferocity, or if I felt like you were too nice, and I'm just like, I like a little bit of thug love. So I'm just like, it's for real. So.
That's real.
I mean, you gotta own it.
It does. I really like nice. I like a little corny. A little. Just a tinge. Just a tinge, because I need a little more sensitivity.
Now, I do feel like sometimes maybe our male viewers think that we're so skewed one way, but we like to keep it fair here on Listen to Black Women. So remember that there are no right or wrong answers, and we just want to discuss every part of the spectrum. So we have another point of view that we're going to throw on the table here. Now, Kelsey Dykstra said in an article on Gold.com that I'm so sick of guys complaining about being put in the friend zone. That excuse might make you feel better about yourself, but it's not the truth. I didn't choose to be just friends with you to punish you or make you feel bad about yourself. I just know that you and I aren't right for each other as anything.
Agreed. They don't do it to punish you. They just look at you as just a friend. And you have to understand that. Now, if you want to sit there and just be just a friend, knowing that it's bothering you mentally, that's on your dumbass fault. But they're not doing it to hurt you or to try and make you feel bad. Like, they're not doing that. That's exactly right. That's why you shouldn't be trying to make them feel bad about it. It's like, well, you put the wrong man in the friend zone and I'm going to show you. And no, man. Either leave, which is what you should do. You should just leave and go do your own thing, or shut the fuck up and accept your place in her kingdom.
Now, when should we give a guy a second chance?
There has to be something. So like you said, there was like this tangible thing that you feel. So I think for whoever I friend zoned in the past, whatever, he was funny. Wasn't really I wasn't attracted to him like that, but he was really funny and really smart. And that is like one little thing that made me be like, let me just give you a second look.
But I do think, to your point when you said about going back and then having a negative experience, that it is still important to trust your instincts.
There's something intuitively when you don't feel that.
They talking about instincts, like when they feel that whatever the fuck she just did, that it works out. That shit ain't work out for you either. So I mean, gotta trust your instincts, you know. Where did those get you when you trusted your instinct? It got you the same place. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's a bullshit, like, you know, just imaginary thing in your head. You know, and you're trusting your whole relationship or future relationship over just a feeling.
I have to pay attention to it because I've tried to go against it. I have.
Like me personally, like, there's women that I didn't feel like I guess a spark totally 100%, but I felt like they were like great people and attractive. And I would give it a try. And like my last relationship, it didn't work out, but it wasn't really something where it was like this destructive, toxic, and people are fighting and accusing each other of cheating. It just happened to not work out. And there's no bad blood between us. It just didn't work out. You know, but you can tell a lot of these girls, man, when they start getting into all these super emotional relationships, the shit turns left. You know, and that's, yeah, it can get ugly. I mean, we've all seen people go through that.
Ain't profiting nothing.
For those of you watching, if you are grappling with, you know, putting someone in the friend zone,
God, I think it's done. But yeah, fellas, if you are put in the friend zone, either accept it and sit there and be a good little boy and serve your purpose in her kingdom, in her harem, you know, of men, or move on. And I mean, move on. Get on with your life. Like, seriously, get on with your life. And not have her in the back of your mind with every decision you make to show her. Do things for you. You'll be a lot more content. You'll be a lot more fulfilled. And you just don't want that energy, man. You don't want to have someone else determining how you live your life, because indirectly, that's what they're doing. Even if you're not doing it to impress them, but you're doing it to show them what, you know, how they messed up. That's not a good way to live, man. It's not. It's not positive. It's just self-destructive. But yeah, man. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think anyone should take these bitches seriously? I don't. Their whole stance on the friend zone not existing, and then later on in the same video talking about how not only it exists, but that they've been in it, to me is more than enough proof to say that you should not be listening to them at all. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm out. Peace.